I knew that I wanted to become a speech-language pathologist, and Iowa has one of the top programs in the nation.
I was looking for an MBA that was highly regarded and credible, but also online.
Everything that I wanted to do, I could accomplish here.
I really wanted to feel incorporated with downtown life and on campus.
I think being a Hawkeye to me means being a part of a greater whole, but it also means your family.
Everyone here is so creative and talented.
You're going to be able to find support, you're going to be able to find mentorship.
Our professors really care about us and they really go the extra mile.
You just get to see how much the professors care about the topic and how much they care about their students.
For me, it's family, it's community, it's the Iowa Wave, Caitlin Clark.
Here comes Clark. How will she go for history?
My earliest memory was going to an Iowa football game.
The Penn State-Iowa game, where we knocked off Penn State. That's probably my favorite. My gosh, that was so fun.
Coming to Iowa has allowed me to pursue projects bigger and far more complex than I would have at any other university.
I was able to take those experiences that I had during rotations and apply those to different clinical cases that I had during interviews.
There's something so magical about the University of Iowa. Everyone that you'll meet is willing to talk to you, everyone's willing to help you, and everyone really just kind of wants to see the best for you.
I want to thank my wife and the rest of my family. I started the Iowa MBA program with twin 2-year-olds and a 3-year-old.
Thank you to my wife. You have stood by me through the ups and downs, and this time of completing these degrees is as much a testament to your work and your support as it is to any effort that I put in, and I am so thankful.
I get emotional talking about it.
I'm a first-generation student, so my parents made a lot of sacrifices for me to go to college, and so I really appreciate them.
Thank you so much to my son, who continues to support me in every way possible, and also to Lydia. I wouldn't be where I am today without your love and support.
Thank you so much to the faculty and other mentors here on campus who helped shape me as an artist and shape my professional career.
You guys mean more to me than you will ever know, and I cherish you all and love you all very deeply.
Please be seated. A hearty welcome to all of you. My name is Donald Latender. I am privileged and honored to serve as the 9th Dean in the extraordinary history of the University of Iowa College of Pharmacy. For those of you who might not know, we are the 4th oldest public college of pharmacy in the United States and the oldest west of the Mississippi. Before we begin today's commencement ceremonies, I would like to acknowledge a few individuals and make one housekeeping announcement. First, our brass quintet musicians, Michael Gauss and Kevin Snells on trumpet 1 and 2, Keely Cruz on horn, Jonathan Allen on trombone, and John Manning on tuba. Your presence here today provides a healthy measure of panache to today's ceremony. Thank you very much. Second, our American Sign Language interpreter today is Kyra Wicklin, who teams up with Hands Up Communications. Kyra, thank you. Third, a huge shout out to the Hanshaw Auditorium team and the University and College of Pharmacy commencement teams. Shout out to you. And my one housekeeping announcement, in order to maintain the dignity of this very special event, we would ask, please, for those of you who have cellular devices in your possession, if you could please put those on silent, that would be most appreciated. Thank you. It is my distinct pleasure to offer a heartfelt welcome to the members of the platform, College of Pharmacy faculty and staff, loved ones and friends of the graduates, and most especially, members of the class of 2024. To each and every one of you, we extend sincere greetings and thanks for the honor of your presence. Today marks our college's 138th commencement. The graduates seated before me have completed a long and rigorous course of study. Speaking on behalf of the faculty, I can assure you that we are most confident these graduates are extremely well prepared for the challenges of healthcare delivery in the 21st century. This morning, we are gathered here to celebrate their achievements and bid them well on their impending journey. At this time, I'd like to recognize individuals joining me this morning on the platform. Starting from my far left, your right, Associate Deans for Professional Education, Amber Getkin and Mary Ray. The Doctor of Pharmacy program is delivered by faculty in the college and managed by the team in our Office of Professional Education. This office is led by 2 Associate Deans, Drs. Amber Getkin and Mary Ray. Deans Ray and Getkin strive to ensure each student is prepared to succeed in a rapidly changing healthcare environment. I know the students find Deans Ray and Getkin particularly effective in their roles and appreciate the guidance and insight that they and members of their staff have provided throughout their years of study. Next, Dr. Savannah Anderson, class president, whom I'll introduce more formally later in the program. Following Savannah are our Teachers of the Year. Each year, the College of Pharmacy recognizes outstanding teachers selected by the students. The process begins by soliciting nominations and supporting comments from each of the classes. Teaching, discovery, and servant leadership are at the heart of our existence as professors. We are incredibly fortunate to have not only these honored individuals, but a superb faculty with us today and every day. In the classroom, laboratories, patient care settings, and many other areas of pharmacy innovation and practice. Please stand as I name you and remain standing so that we can recognize all of our Teachers of the Year collectively. First, my distinct pleasure to recognize Dr. Morgan Herring, peer-nominated and peer-reviewed Collegiate Teacher of the Year. Next, our class teachers of the year, Dr. Lewis Stevens, Dr. Deanna McDaniel, and Dr. Cashel Lockman. These highly dedicated faculty are our teachers of the year. Please join me once again in acknowledging their accomplishments and well-deserved recognition of these highly dedicated faculty. Thank you. Next is Dr. Susan Voss, today's distinguished commencement speaker, whom I'll introduce more formally later in the program. And lastly, Dr. Barbara Wilson, the University of Iowa's 22nd president. President Wilson, we're honored by your presence here today. President Wilson will be formally conferring the degrees during today's ceremony. We are most honored by her presence. I learned before the program that she's doing 11 commencements. So she's going to be one busy person these next couple of days. Other dignitaries in attendance here today. At this time, I'd like to acknowledge two special dignitaries who are with us. Our college is in a unique position by virtue of the valuable interface we enjoy with the Iowa Pharmacy Association, one of the leading pharmacy associations in the United States. And when I say leading, I mean leading. The Iowa Pharmacy Association has long been at the vanguard of change within our profession and has always benefited from extraordinary leadership. Joining us today are Dr. Kate Gaynor, the Executive Vice President and CEO of the Iowa Pharmacy Association, and Dr. Emmeline Paintsill, Director of Professional Affairs for IPA. Kate and Emmeline, could you please stand so we could recognize you? Right there. To the graduates, man, you look good. You really look good. I'm just so pleased to see you and to be able to share in this very special day with you. I think about how we began. It's usually customary that the first thing I do with our students is get to shake their hand and welcome them to the profession in a very formal white coat ceremony. But that wasn't to be true in 2020, was it? As all of us can well remember, that was at the very beginning of the pandemic. No vaccines, and just a lot of challenges that we all faced in healthcare delivery and in education. But you persevered, and we're going to celebrate that here today. I just want to tell you from the bottom of my heart that over the course of this next couple of hours, just a whole range of emotions are going to be going through me, thinking about your journey, thinking about how you persevered, but most importantly, thinking about the fulfillment of your hopes and dreams in the years ahead. I would like to take this opportunity. I'm a first-generation graduate. My mom and dad, my wife's mom and dad are of French-Canadian descent. Her dad was a cobbler. My dad was a woodworker and furniture maker. They were smart people, but did not benefit from formal education. But from having grown up in two large families, Louise, one of 11, I'm the eldest of 8. Our parents used to like to say that they were rich in love, but not rich in resources. And so, but they strongly advocated for education. By virtue of that, it changed my life and changed the lives of several of my siblings who also benefited from collegiate education. I know that our class comprises a goodly number of first-geners. Would you please honor us today by standing up, because you're going to set the tone for the next generations by virtue of your education. First-geners, please stand. Thank you. Thank you. We also have several of our graduates who benefit from having other loved ones who are pharmacists. I know we have several where now we're into 2 generations where their parents even graduated from our program, a few from programs across the country, but moms, dads, uncles, aunts who are pharmacists that then encourage them to become pharmacists. And I know of at least one graduate that is a beneficiary of, this is his 3rd generation as a pharmacist. And I know his grandmother and grandfather are listening in today. by virtue of Streamline. His mom and dad are here, and he's got an uncle and an aunt who are pharmacists and graduates of our program. So those that are multi-generational pharmacy grads, the students, let me ask if you could please stand. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We recognize that many of our graduates have loved ones who are healthcare professionals. We are grateful for your presence and the service that you provide to humankind. Might I ask, please, those of you that are able, those that are healthcare professionals of any dimension who are in the audience here today, could you please stand so that we could honor you, all the healthcare professionals in the audience. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Before we introduce our speakers, I would like to acknowledge loved ones who are in the military and cannot be here today. I know for a fact at least 2 of our graduates who have loved ones who are serving overseas. Indeed, we enjoy many freedoms because of the sacrifices that these individuals make. Those present here today who have served or are currently serving in the military, could you please stand and remain standing? All who are Please remain standing. Please remain standing, those of you who have served or are currently serving. I would like to ask everyone in the audience to please join me for a moment of silence as a gesture of respect and profound thanks to those who have served or are currently serving in our country. Thank you. It is now my distinct pleasure to introduce Dr. Savannah Anderson, President of the fabulous class of 24. Savannah grew up in New Hampton, Iowa, and is a graduate of New Hampton High School. Savannah attended the University of Iowa for her undergraduate studies prior to beginning pharmacy school. During her pharmacy education, she has been involved in a lot of things, including the Pharmacy Student Ambassador Network, our engagement team, Student Leadership Council, Class of 24 Executive Team, Rho Chi, which is our Honor Society, PLS, which is our Pharmacy Leadership Society, the American Pharmacy Association Student Chapter, ASHP. She served on the college's admissions committee, and she's been an active member of the Iowa Pharmacy Association. When the heck did you have time to study anyway? Following graduation, Savannah will be pursuing a combined postgraduate year 1, postgraduate year 2 Health Systems Leadership and Administrative Residency at the University of Wisconsin Health System. She'll also be pursuing a Master's of Science in Pharmacy Administration and Leadership from the UW-Madison School of Pharmacy. In my mind, Savannah epitomizes the type of balanced student that we are trying to nurture here at the University of Iowa's College of Pharmacy. Academically driven, professionally engaged, and exemplary in demeanor. We're extraordinarily proud of Savannah and all that she has accomplished. I know we share this pride with those members of her family who are here with us today. Her parents, Grant and Chrissy, brothers Braden and Peyton, grandparents Jim and Ann. Might I ask, please, that members of Savannah's family who are present, please stand so we could recognize you. Thank you. Now, please join me in welcoming Dr. Savannah Anderson to the podium, which she will provide remarks representing the outstanding class of 2024. Savannah?
Hello, everyone. As was said, my name is Savannah Anderson, and I'm so honored to be here to address all of you today as we celebrate such a special occasion together. Today, we celebrate the hard work and dedication each one of us has put and devoted to becoming pharmacists. This 4-year journey has been filled with challenges and triumphs, each of which has made us who we are today. I can honestly say these have been some of the greatest 4 years of my life, and that is a testament to this program, this place, and most importantly, those of you who are here today with me and have stood alongside me on this journey, classmates, faculty, mentors, family, and friends. As we prepare to move forward into the next phase of our pharmacy careers and lives, I hope we can each take time to reflect on all of the memories we've made, the patients we've cared for, the knowledge that we've gained, and the relationships that we've built. From the late nights that we spent studying pharmacotherapy topics, to each early Monday morning exam, to applying our real-world skills on APPE rotations. Each moment has molded us into compassionate, competent healthcare professionals. There are endless opportunities within pharmacy for each of us to make meaningful impacts on the lives of others. I look forward to working alongside each and every one of you as colleagues and friends. These last 4 years have taught me countless lessons. I will be the first to say and admit that I don't have all of the answers, although I am hoping I have plenty to pass the NAPLEX with flying colors. In all seriousness, as I sat down to write this speech, I thought about all of the lessons that I've learned in pharmacy school that have shaped me the most. While this list is nowhere comprehensive, it certainly captures a few key insights that I will always carry forward with me, and I hope that you will too. Every moment is a learning opportunity if you enter it with the mindset and a willingness to grow. Never stop advocating for yourself and your patients. Sometimes you'll be the only one doing so. You are capable of so much. You can do all of the things you've always wanted to, but know that you don't have to do it all. More people believe in you than you think. When it comes to antibiotics, and you know your drug, and you know your bug, less is more. Unless, of course, it's a multi-drug resistant organism, then more is more. Sometimes, oftentimes, the most impactful thing you can do for a patient, a colleague, or a friend is to just listen. You can achieve things alone, but you can go so much further together. When things get difficult, because they undoubtedly will, remember why you started. Remember triumphs like the one today. And remember that you've got people in your life who will always support you. Having mentors and being a mentor will change your life. Cherish those relationships and pay it forward when you can. The best things that you can be are authentic and consistent. Stay true to yourself and follow through on your word. And finally, the best speeches are short speeches. Thank you, Dr. Swiggle, for those words of advice on my last rotation. On that note, I will close with a few words of gratitude that a celebration like today would be remiss without. To each person who has followed and supported someone you love along this journey, thank you for believing in us even when we doubted ourselves. To our professors and mentors, thank you for challenging us to think critically and for imparting your wisdom upon us. To Dean Latender, who has not only been the fearless leader of the place we've all called home the last 4 years, but who is a role model that embodies all of the best things a pharmacist can bring to the table. Thank you for your unwavering encouragement and tireless efforts in guiding us toward being the best that we can be. It is because of the University of Iowa College of Pharmacy that we've not only learned the science of pharmacy, but ultimately the art of caring for others with compassion and understanding. May we all carry these lessons that we've learned forward and continue to share them amongst ourselves and each other as connected alumni. Congratulations to Iowa's newest Doctors of Pharmacy, the class of 2024. Thank you.
Not bad for somebody who said she didn't want to be a public speaker, I'll tell you. One more time for Savannah. Now I'm delighted to introduce today's commencement speaker. Dr. Susan Voss serves as the Senior Director of Student Affairs at the American Association of Colleges of Pharmacy. The acronym is AACP. She earned both her Bachelor of Science and Doctor of Pharmacy degrees from the University of Tennessee. Susan then pursued postgraduate training with a pharmacy practice residency at Methodist University Hospital in Memphis, followed by an additional specialized residency in pediatric pharmacy at the Medical University of South Carolina in Charleston. Susan spent 17 years on our faculty. She started the year before I became dean, and she recently took this position this past October. So she's been very much a part of the journey of the women and men seated here today. During her journey here at Iowa, she served as a professor, director of professional experience program, and eventually as the associate dean of student affairs. She was an extraordinary colleague and a dear friend. During her tenure at Iowa, she focused on pediatric pharmacy, leadership development, experiential education, preceptor training, and global health initiatives. She's published extensively with over 40 publications and over 90 presentations of her research at the state, national, and international level. In her current role at AACP, Susan is dedicated to promoting opportunities within the pharmacy profession for all aspiring pharmacists. She is committed to equipping student pharmacists with the necessary tools for success, both within their pharmacy training programs as well as during their future careers in pharmacy. Susan has particular interest in using her own leadership expertise as an example as she advocates for students, pharmacists, and pharmaceutical scientists. Beyond her professional endeavors, the joy of Susan's life is her family. She has a passion for travel and experiencing other cultures and practicing the culinary and sartorial arts. Let me just say, too, that we honor, for those who may not know, we honor our commencement speakers. When Dr. Voss comes to the podium here, you'll notice a large medallion draped across her chest. Several years ago, in fact, well over a decade, we began a new tradition here where we honor our commencement speaker the evening before at our P4 recognition event. Many of you in the audience here today were there last evening, so you got to witness it for yourself. But for us, while it's a small token of appreciation, it's a wonderful way for us to express to our commencement speaker how much they mean to this entire event here today, this wonderful celebration, and also extend our appreciation by virtue of this external symbol at the messages that he or she conveys. It is with a great deal of pride and honor that I invite to the podium this year's distinguished commencement speaker, Dr. Susan Voss.
This is one of my favorite days of the whole year as a faculty member. I love graduation day, and I always bring tissues in my pocket because at some point I'll get emotional, but here we go. Thank you, Dean Latender, for the invitation to come today. This is an incredible gift, and I will forever be grateful for this moment. The class of 2024 will always hold a special place in my heart. Most of you made the decision to come to pharmacy school during that tumultuous spring of 2020. And there were a few things going on that spring, right? That pandemic. And I remember sitting at home at my dining room table, teaching classes, learning how to use Zoom, and I found myself wondering, what would your first semester of pharmacy school look like? I wondered if you would still even come to the college. I wondered if you would get to know each other and become lifelong friends because you wouldn't be able to sit shoulder to shoulder in our classrooms. I wondered if you would be able to smile enough with your eyes because we wouldn't be able to see each other's smiles under those masks. But you all amazed me with the strength and resiliency you showed during the last 4 years at the College of Pharmacy. During the storm of COVID, you turned into the wind and faced the challenges of healthcare head on. You were successful in your classes, your student organizations, and yes, your social events, and you exceeded our expectations. You are one of the most resilient groups of students I've ever encountered in my 17 years on the faculty at Iowa, and I'm really grateful to be a part of your special day. So a little bit about me. I like to tell people my journey in pharmacy began in the late 1940s when my grandparents, Bill and Betty, met while they were both studying pharmacy at the University of Tennessee. Bill had just completed his duties as a fighter pilot in World War II, flying 56 missions and logging nearly 300 combat hours. And Betty had studied to be a school teacher, but on graduation day, she changed her mind and decided she would study pharmacy. Soon after the first days of pharmacy school, Bill asked Betty on a date, and by graduation day, they were married with one child and another one on the way. They moved to East Tennessee and opened a pharmacy near my grandmother's hometown. And they didn't know it then, but they were creating their legacy. Their children and grandchildren would go on to become healthcare providers and lead their communities because of the example they saw in Bill and Betty. Now, legend has it that during my grandmother's pharmacy school days, she unexpectedly went into labor while both she and my grandfather were taking an exam. Despite the onset of labor, she powered through, completing her exam and walking across the street to give birth to a healthy baby boy. Later, as my grandfather finished his exam and headed over to the hospital across the street, someone yelled out the window, "Bill, it's a boy." And he was later introduced to his firstborn. What makes this story truly remarkable is that my grandmother outperformed my grandfather on that exam. She was undeniably a force to be reckoned with. I had the privilege of growing up in pharmacy. My family owned 3 pharmacies in Middle Tennessee, and I had my first job in a pharmacy dusting shelves for 5 cents per shelf, and then scooping ice cream at our soda fountain. While I was making milkshakes, I had a front row seat to life in a small town where pharmacy was the only physical location to receive health care for miles, something we're seeing more and more today in our rural communities. I especially love spending Saturday mornings at our pharmacy where many of the town leaders would meet and commune over a cup of coffee to promote the community and solve public problems facing our town. In my dad's pharmacy, 3 things were consistently offered at no charge. First, there was free coffee to anyone who entered the pharmacy, creating a warm and welcoming environment. Second, all law enforcement personnel received complimentary meals at our soda fountain because the nearest police station was 30 miles away, and my dad valued that extra security that they provided. And finally, any child getting a prescription filled got a free scoop of ice cream, especially when that ice cream would soothe those inflamed tonsils. This pharmacy served as the heart of our small town, and I cherish those memories and the countless times I witnessed this generosity during my childhood. Graduates, y'all have sat in my classrooms and heard me lecture on many topics, like pediatric pharmacy, leadership, but today's lecture feels a bit more complicated and a bit heavy, a commencement address. How do I impart some lasting wisdom without taking too long? Am I really old enough to give a commencement address? I still feel like I'm 22. Does anybody care what I might have to say? Well, I took a deep breath, I rewrote this speech about 100 times, and here we are today as I give you a glimpse in my rearview mirror and reflect on 2 important life lessons that I want to share with you today. The first one, happiness is not a destination, it's a direction. When I look around this beautiful space, I'm in awe of the happiness that I see around the room. We are all so happy for you and your success that we're celebrating today. But we all know this happiness won't last forever. Those of you who have taken my leadership elective know how much I enjoy reading books on leadership and self-development. And most recently, I've enjoyed a book by a Harvard professor who studies happiness. Yes, he's a happiness professor. And he's identified 3 macronutrients that are essential to build a life that is aimed in the direction of happiness. The first ingredient is enjoyment. Enjoyment is that combination of sharing experiences with loved ones that bring you joy while creating lasting memories. Maybe it's sharing a meal with good friends, or maybe it's cheering on our Hawkeyes with family and friends while watching Caitlin Clark sink one of her logo threes. Finding enjoyment involves sharing experiences with loved ones, which not only bring joy, but also help create those lasting memories. And you all have experienced enjoyment in these last 4 years. Your class took full advantage of making connections, many of those over late-night studying sessions at the college, or traveling to pharmacy conferences, or attending things like the Cop Ball. You all experienced enjoyment through sharing these experiences with each other. So remember, enjoyment is that combination of the people you love and the memories you make. The next ingredient is purpose. Purpose is the essence of your life. It's how you show up and what you can do to make the world a better place. Many of us in healthcare focus our purpose on serving others. There will never be anything more important in your life than making a difference in someone else's. Often people think you have to do something big to have a purpose, but I propose another way. All you need to do is to be good to one person each day, and that little act of compassion can be a lifesaver to those patients that we serve. In working with you these last 4 years, I've seen that your purpose has been providing access to care to those that don't have it, or listening to better understand each other's needs, mentoring those that come behind you, or becoming the first in your family to graduate college or first in your family to become a healthcare provider. This purpose or meaning has been the catalyst to push you towards your dreams when the road ahead felt impossible. And here's the secret about happiness in your career. Arthur Brooks, the happiness professor, shares that earning your success and serving others is the key to a happy, fulfilling career. So continue to look for your purpose through serving others. The third ingredient is satisfaction. Satisfaction is that thrill we get from accomplishing a goal. The greatest joy often comes from progress toward the goal, in spite of the fact that that requires a lot of struggle. And I know there have been difficult times over the last 4 years. Not everything about our environments and healthcare workplace are positive. There are challenges in healthcare that have been brought to light even more in the last few years, but I'm hopeful. Hope coupled with action is a powerful tool. When faced with struggles, ask yourself, what is one thing I can do today that can make this better? That is an expression of hope and power. When you have been faced with challenging patients, I've seen your confidence improved each time you counseled a patient in lab, or in the confidence that you gained this last year during your clinical rotations. And I know that you have experienced the satisfaction that comes when you receive that job offer or residency placement. The most satisfaction comes from experiences when you struggle. So remember that good people fall down every day and great ones get back up and keep going. So my first lesson is happiness is not a destination but a direction, and you need enjoyment, satisfaction, and purpose to point your compass in the direction of happiness. My second lesson is to look for the breadcrumbs and leave breadcrumbs for others. We all have people in our lives who are our breadcrumbs, and I'm not talking about the breadcrumbs in the fairy tale that Hansel and Gretel left for themselves to find their way out of the forest. I'm talking about the trail of breadcrumbs you leave for others to make navigating the forest easier for those that come after you, and recognizing the trail of breadcrumbs that you found along your way. Recently, I had the opportunity to hear Ryan Leake speak at a pharmacy meeting. He's an author, and he speaks about learning through failures. Ryan told us to live in such a way that you help somebody else get into the room. The way you do that is to recognize all those breadcrumbs that helped and the people that helped you get into the room. My grandmother Betty, who put on a white coat and served her community. My mom, who went back to graduate school when I was a young girl to earn a degree. My college roommate, Carrie Ann, who got into pharmacy school a year before me and encouraged me along the way. She is the reason I went to my first pharmacy national meeting. My professor, Dr. Phelps, who still provides mentorship and friendship to me today. My classmate, April, who had to teach me how to study. My friend, Cora Lynn, who helped a stranger get a job in Iowa. Don, Hazel, Bernard, Gary, Kate, Tom, Jay, and countless others on stage and in the audience who helped me get into the room. The list could go on. And I know that you have a list of breadcrumbs. Many of those are in the audience, up on stage, or watching on the live stream. And you get bonus points if you reach out to them and say thank you. One of my favorite quotes from Oprah Winfrey is, "When I walk into a room, I come as one and I stand as 10,000. This quote has guided me when I'm the only fill in the blank in the room. Only female, only pharmacist, first in family, anything that makes you first different, or other. Remember that this unique perspective you bring to the table, that is your superpower. And remember that you carry the strength of all of those who have come before you and cracked open that door to let you in. I am only here because someone helped me get into the room. You are only here because someone helped you get into the room. Look for opportunities to add value to someone else's career and live a life that helps others get into the room. But you also have to look for breadcrumbs, because if you look for them, I think you'll find them. When I met my husband in Nashville, Tennessee, he wanted to move back to Iowa, where he had completed his undergraduate studies, because who doesn't love Iowa City, right? At that time, I had never been to the state of Iowa, but I met someone at an APHA meeting that had the word Iowa on her name tag, and in that brief encounter, she told me she was going to get me a job in Iowa. At that same time, one of my former preceptors said, if you decide to move to Iowa, be on the lookout for Jay Curry. Well, Jay Curry and Corlin Truitt were my breadcrumbs that brought me to Iowa, and I'm forever grateful to your mentorship and friendship over the years. So to wrap things up today, poet and author Joy Sullivan wrote in a poem called Culpable. She said, I wrote a pep talk to myself recently on a bar napkin. No matter which road you take, it will be both glorious and unbearable. Every road is lonely, every road holy. The only error is not walking forth. I encourage you to keep walking forth every day, looking for the macronutrients of happiness, enjoyment, satisfaction, and purpose, and leaving breadcrumbs to those that will walk this journey behind you. Thank you, and congratulations to the class of 2024.
Dr. Voss, thank you so much for those inspirational words. One more time for Dr. Voss. I would like to take this moment to recognize Susan's family, her husband, Dr. Jeremy Voss, and daughters, Claire and Emily. Jeremy, Claire, Emily, could you please stand so we could recognize you? You're right over here. I'm now honored to introduce to you the University of Iowa's 22nd president, Dr. Barbara J. Wilson. She earned a bachelor's degree in journalism and her master's degree and PhD in communication arts from the University of Wisconsin-Madison. She came to Iowa most recently having served as the executive vice president for academic affairs of the University of Illinois system. Prior to that, she served as head of the Department of Communication, Vice Provost for Academic Affairs, Executive Vice Provost for Faculty and Academic Affairs, and the Harry E. Preble Dean of the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences and Interim Chancellor of the University of Illinois, Urbana-Champaign. President Wilson was a member of the Illinois faculty at Urbana-Champaign for 21 years. She was also a professor of communication at the University of California, Santa Barbara, and the University of Louisville. President Wilson's research focuses on the social and psychological effects of the media, particularly on youth. She is co-author or co-editor of 4 books and over 80 research articles, book chapters, and technical reports. In 2008, she was elected as a fellow of the International Communication Association. President Wilson is a native of Appleton, Wisconsin. Her spouse, John, a wonderful gentleman, is a retired professor of communication, and they have 2 grown daughters. We are deeply honored to have President Barbara Wilson with us this morning. Please join me in welcoming Iowa's 22nd president, Dr. Barbara Wilson, who will issue her charge to the graduates.
Thank you, Dean Latender. Really appreciate your remarks and your incredible legacy here. I'm really honored to be part of this graduation ceremony today. As you heard from the dean, I'm going to participate in a few of them over the next few days, but this is a really special one, and it's the first time I've done pharmacy since I've been here, so I'm really pleased to have this honor and to celebrate with you graduates in this important milestone and a milestone for the university. I've learned from our speakers, keep it short and look out for breadcrumbs. So I'm going to keep that in mind as I give just a few remarks today. I offer my heartiest congratulations to all the graduates at this very special moment. I love watching your faces as you listen to the speakers and as you think about your future here today. I also extend special thanks to all the families, the friends, the partners, and anybody here who's celebrating this incredible class. As you've heard, they've been through a lot, and they deserve our recognition. You are graduating from a very distinguished program at the University of Iowa. We're so proud that the College of Pharmacy was founded in 1885, a full 139 years ago. That's almost impossible to imagine when you think about it. It's the first public college of pharmacy west of the Mississippi. 50% of the pharmacists in the state of Iowa have been educated here at the University of Iowa. So when I'm out and about and talking to legislators, you better believe that I emphasize that. And the University of Iowa's College of Pharmacy alumni practice in 96 of the 99 counties in the state of Iowa. Graduates, we are very proud of all of your accomplishments. And we're proud to send you off as part of the great Iowa pharmacy legacy. If you're staying here in Iowa to practice, you will be joining a large and impressive professional community. For those of you, like Savannah, who are moving on elsewhere, we are grateful that you will be bringing Iowa excellence to your communities beyond our state's borders. Even though we are saying farewell to you today, you will, of course, always be part of us. Your work here will always remain a part of our foundation of excellence. And your work in the future will always reflect positively on your University of Iowa education. We hope that you will continue to be a good friend and an advocate for the University of Iowa. And here, I want to encourage you that wherever you go, think about wearing something with a tiger hawk on it if you can, because it will radiate the values of the University of Iowa. And I'm guessing no matter where you go with that tiger hawk, someone's going to yell out to you, "Go Hawks," right? Once again, congratulations, good luck, and the best wishes for great success in the wonderful years ahead of you. We are all very, very proud of you. Congratulations.
President Wilson, these candidates have completed all the requirements for the degree, Doctor of Pharmacy, and are recommended to you by the faculty of the College of Pharmacy for the conferring of their degrees.
On recommendation of the faculty of the College of Pharmacy and by the authority vested in me by the Iowa Board of Regents, I confer on each of you the degree Doctor of Pharmacy as qualified and designated. Congratulations.
Thank you, President Wilson, for gracing us with your presence here today. At this time, I would like to invite Associate Deans Ray and Getkin to please proceed to the podium.
It is now our honor to introduce the graduates of the class of 2024. Today, each student receives a hood. The graduation hood is a symbol of doctoral education and is the primary way to identify degrees held by graduates. The length and shape of the hood indicate the degree that is granted. The lining displays the official colors of the university awarding the degree, and the velvet trim indicates the field of study. The Doctor of Pharmacy hoods are olive green, recognizing the professional Doctor of Pharmacy degree. The stars on the gown recognize academic achievement, and the cords worn by many of our graduates indicate selected achievements in academics, leadership, service, affiliations, and professional organization involvement. We will now ask the graduates to line up to our left, one row at a time, beginning with your class president, Savannah. A professional photographer will take photographs of the graduates after each is named by Dean Getkin and cross the stage to be hooded. Audience members may also come forward to take pictures of their own.
As the graduates and stage party line up, I ask each graduate to take a moment to consider the significance of the regalia you wear today. There will be days ahead that are tough. Your patient may not take their medication as expected. The cost of medications may be too much for your patient. You will disagree with a colleague. You will have outcomes that are unexpected. Like the weight of your regalia, at times, you will feel the weight of the world on your shoulders. I hope you remember this day when you received your Doctor of Pharmacy hood, and remember the strength your education has given you to take on the challenges you will face in your careers. Though the weight may be heavy, the role you will play brings immense reward to both you and the patients you serve. Let us now begin the hooding ceremony. Dr. Savannah Anderson. Dr. Emily Ann Gilbertson. Dr. Lauren Ray Duncalf. Dr. Jill Gooderslow. Dr. Ariba Naeem. Dr. Jacob Rohr. Dr. Tyler Cooksley. Dr. Zachary J. Noonemaker. Dr. George Appleseth. Dr. Victoria Luella Adrian. Dr. Kylie Yinger.
Dr. Samantha Lynn Whitcomb. Dr. Sydney Ann Vansel. Dr. Kendall Elizabeth Newman. Dr. Hannah Elizabeth Ungurian. Dr. Tessa Jean Bagaski. Dr. Lauren Elizabeth Lapointe. Dr. Kendra Jo Welter. Dr. Catherine Marie Fitzpatrick. Dr. Megan Mitchell. Dr. Logan Daniels. Dr. Michaela Christine Hoeing. Dr. Lauren Elizabeth Collier. Dr. Jacob Matthew Bulger. Dr. Carlos Fernando Núñez Aguillon. Dr. Christina Rose Markham. Dr. Paige Elizabeth Gommerdinger. Dr. Fabiola Marie Garardo Penci. Dr. Connie Vu Chu. Dr. Kimberly Itzel Salazar Morales. Dr. Yuri Kim. Dr. Caitlin Rohrbaugh. Dr. Destiny Truman. Dr. Jeline Joyce Haas. Dr. Delane Elizabeth Glasgow. Dr. Emily Ann Hagen. Dr. Brittany Ray Bullock. Dr. Cheyenne Catherine Decker. Dr. Hannah Reagan Nebel. Dr. Faith Rose Pelker. Dr. Jack Dykema. Dr. Kevin Dong. Dr. Eric John Wheatman. Dr. Shelby May Brotherson. Dr. Gracie Christina Schnell. Dr. Carly K. Andre. Dr. Bryce Andre. Dr. Gabrielle Lynn Heiner. Dr. Sarah Ann Carr. Dr. Jordan Elizabeth Bogey. Dr. Sophia Catherine Brown. Dr. Jerry Ann Sanger. Dr. Elijah Thomas Miller. Dr. Spencer Ross Hagan. Dr. Mark Lewis Nagel. Dr. Sydney Michelle Ross. Dr. Alyssa Michelle Conaway. Dr. Zachary Stephen Glanz. Dr. Sulafa Adam. Dr. Ryan Wilson Powell. Dr. Sarah Ann Dumaki. Dr. Edward Manning Stahl. Dr. Vanessa Joy Van Holland. Dr. Caleb Ginn. Dr. Noah Warren Goebel. Dr. Ming Pham. Dr. Austin Grossman. Dr. Blake James Anderson. Dr. Tin Nyap Tran. Dr. Caden Young Burkamper. Dr. Steve Wynn. Dr. Jamal Abubakar Targio. Dr. Jalak C. Patel. Dr. Albert Lesko Vincent. Dr. Lang An Huang Nguyen. Dr. Nevena Glavas. Dr. Sahida Maslem. Dr. Manar Awad Al Sharif Habiballah. Dr. Brittany Lynn Wynn. Dr. Kim Vo. Dr. Michelle April Moon. Dr. Thao Peng Win. Dr. Tracy Tran. Dr. Dochi Kiatakaisi Lo. Dr. Angela Andrich. Dr. Allison Nicole DeVore. Dr. Savannah Jo Rikes. Dr. Kelsey Marie Fossil. Dr. Josie Seaton. Dr. Emma Margaret Smith. Dr. Kaylee Jo Cruiser. Dr. Patricia Anna Bush. Dr. Ali Jafar Barakat. Dr. McCaffrey Townsend. Dr. Laurel Elaine Gunnarsson. Dr. Destiny Marie Welt. Dr. Michael Thomas Hickman. Dr. Yai Dawn. Dr. Lisa Ding. Dr. Sheen Lan Lin.
Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you, proudly present to you, over the moon present to you, the graduating class of 2024. I can tell you, graduates, what you just witnessed was well-deserved. Today, indeed, is a very special day. It marks the culmination of years of effort on the part of many, and it represents the beginning of a new journey into healthcare in which each of these graduates will undoubtedly leave a profound mark upon all whom they serve. I'd like to take a moment to recognize a very special group of individuals. For the past 4 years, the group of men and women seated behind me have given much to enrich the lives of our graduates, intellectually, emotionally, professionally, and I must admit, depending upon the subject matter and your level of preparation and exam time, spiritually. Frankly, for a secular institution, I've witnessed a whole lot of praying at times. We are indeed blessed to have a truly outstanding faculty and professional staff. Through their research, they're in constant quest of the next critical step in finding new drugs or better ways to deliver health care. And through their scholarship of teaching, they are always striving to impart knowledge, stimulate critical thinking, and hone students' problem-solving skills. Theirs is truly a labor of love. Faculty, may I ask you to please stand. Ladies and gentlemen, I ask that you join me in recognizing these fine men and women for all they have done for our graduates and for what they continue to do for the profession of pharmacy. Thank you. I believe that the events of the past 2 days were simply outstanding, as they always are, and have gone on without a hitch because of our staff. All of you do so much behind the scenes in helping to bring a healthy measure of panache that ultimately makes our college so special and the envy of others. All the planning, attention to detail are evident in so many ways, and most especially in the quality of our functions. I feel very privileged, as you know, to serve as dean and have such a capable, considerate, and caring staff as integral members of our college family. Might I ask, please, those, and I know some are behind the stage here, but for those that are in the audience, could you please stand so that we could acknowledge our staff? Staff, please stand. Thank you. I'd especially like to thank the parents, grandparents, spouses, partners, other family members, and friends of the graduates. Your personal, moral, and of course, financial support has been critical to these graduates who have achieved this important milestone in their lives here today. If you are able, I'd like to ask those loved ones, the parents, the grandparents, spouses, and partners, to please stand. Could you please stand? Graduates, let's thank our parents and our loved ones. We thank you all. We thank you all for your years of love, support, and encouragement throughout their time as a student. Now, if you bear with me for just 2 moments, please, I'd like to do something that I've not had the privilege of doing in 24 years of deaning, 17 here at the University of Iowa. When you look at the Pinnacle Award that we have created in our college, called the Osterhaus Medal for Lifetime Achievement, we did that to recognize Robert Osterhaus, a 52 graduate, gentleman who served as a legislator, served as the pharmacist in Osterhaus Pharmacy and key pillar in the community, backbone of the community. Went on to have son and daughter-in-law who are seated here today as graduates of our program, and now our grandson as graduates of our program. When we issue the Osterhaus Medal for Lifetime Achievement, the one thing that we celebrate as a college are the partners in our life, because on that very special medallion is not only Bob's bust, but also that of Ann, his spouse of over 60 years. Bob is 93, and I believe Ann is a year or two the same age as Bob. That's a nicer way to put it, right? They would be here with us today, except for the fact that Ann recently broke her hip. I mention that because for the last 54 plus years, I too have been blessed with a wonderful girlfriend. Her name is Louise. We met in high school. I transferred my sophomore year. I saw this cute little girl who didn't have a partner in chemistry lab, and so I buddied up next to her, and I like to say that First we met in chemistry, and then there was chemistry. She's been my girlfriend for 54 years, and we've been married close to 49. Every step of the way, she's there, just like Ann is to Bob, Louise is to me, and I know if I went around to every one of you in this room, you have special partners in your life who mean so much to you in helping you get through your journey. I would not be standing here today if not for the love and support of my 54-year girlfriend, Louise, the mother of our 4 children and grandmother to our 11 grandchildren. Louise, I've never had a chance to do this before, but I'd like you to please stand so we could recognize your efforts in helping me. Thank you for the privilege of doing that. And thank you for your love and support, Louise. Professionalism. Yes, we've come full circle when we first spoke of professionalism. You know I had to invoke it one more time. What you choose to profess and how you exercise all of the privileges that will be bestowed upon you will be decided in the days to come. Pharmacist. Just saying the word connotes much in today's society. Responsibility, respect, integrity, trust, and healing are but a few of the things that quickly come to my mind. Henceforth, you will be called pharmacist for several reasons. First, you have earned the distinction that the title carries through years of study and hard work. But bear in mind that this is a beginning point, not an end point. You'll always be required to continue to learn and hone your skills, for a true healthcare provider's time as a student never ends. Second, you're about to enter into a very special covenant with the public. That covenant will willingly place lives in your hands, and in return, you'll be obligated to draw upon all of your special knowledge and skills to help ensure the health and safety of those for whom you have been entrusted to serve. In that regard, I draw upon the words of Michelangelo, who once said, "The greatest danger for most of us lies not in setting our aim too high and falling short, but in setting our aim too low and achieving our mark." I urge you always, always, always to aim high. Those we serve deserve our very, very best. And third, you'll become a member of a very select community. This community, called the profession of pharmacy, is one built upon trust, discipline, integrity, collaboration, caring, and a firm commitment to health promotion and disease prevention. Our profession demands these things, and our patients have come to expect nothing less. As we've discussed many times, we are all servant leaders. For these reasons and so many more, you'll have the unique privilege of forever bearing the title pharmacist. I feel especially proud and privileged to be among the first to call you pharmacists, because I know in my heart that each of you is so deserving of this recognition. Congratulations. Ladies and gentlemen, as we conclude this ceremony, I would ask, please, that you remain in your seat during the recessional. Graduates, would you please, as you're departing, immediately proceed to the staircase in the front lobby where we will assemble for a class photo. Ladies and gentlemen, once all of the graduates have exited, then all of you may depart at your convenience. Thank you very, very much for gracing us with your presence here today. This concludes the 138th commencement of the University of Iowa College of Pharmacy. Thank you, and go Hawks!